Well, let's talk about astrology. And it's very interesting, and I'm glad you brought this up in the outline, how astrology does have to do with math. Astrology is definitely objective, and you have to have, like, your math, because in the astrology wheel, there's 12 pieces of the pie, there's 12 houses. And in Western tropical whole sign astrology, each piece of the pie is equal. And that is what you and I prefer to use. But within each piece of the 12 pieces, it goes from 0 to 29 degrees within each house, right? So each piece of the pie is a house. And each degree has its own traits. I mean, and I'm not a professional astrologer, but in the 29th degree, so the last degree, whenever we have transits that are happening, say Uranus or Neptune is in the 29th degree. It's called the anaretic degree, and it's means the themes and the power of that planet are so concentrated because it's gone from 0 to 29 and gathered all that knowledge and completely embodies that sign. And just like if you have any planets in your chart that are 29 degrees, it means, okay, you've learned that. Like you are, say you have 29 degrees, Sagittarius sun, you are super Sagittarius. And again, I'm not being precise with this, so
I
don't
have
come for me.
I have a 28 degree
You do.
Sagittarius.
Yeah, you do, because you're towards the end of, yeah. And the decans, they split each piece of the pie equally. The first 0 to 10 degrees is the first decan of a sign, and that's ruled by a different planet. And then there's the middle piece of that pie, that's another 10 degrees, and then you have the last 10 degrees. So people say, oh, well, you're a Sagittarius, but you don't seem like a Sagittarius because you're a third decan Sagittarius. And off the top of my head, I don't remember what your rulership is, but that's what could make you different than besides everything else. People don't realize it's not just your sun
Mine is
sign,
the
and I won't go
sun.
into it.
Yeah. No, in the last decan of Sagittarius is sun. The ruler is the sun.
And I'm a first decan Scorpio. So I am like a Scorpio. I want to say it's ruled by Mars, which is one of the rulers of Scorpio. I know this is going over a lot of people's heads. So anyway, I'll cut it there. But it's very interesting. So in terms of the signs for the characters, what did you come up with?
Okay, so what would be the obvious sign of a math nerd like Binti? I would
An
say a
air sign,
Virgo.
like Gemini. Oh,
No,
yeah, you're right. A Virgo.
surprisingly,
Gemini. No.
yeah. I actually think it's a Virgo because one, she's a nerd, obviously. Two, she is a nerd about a subject like mathematics, which involves a lot of analytical skills, which requires logical skills. So I would say a Virgo. But what really makes her a Virgo is the fact that she is of service and wants to be of service to people, because traditionally Virgo is the sign of the Virgin, but but more importantly, the function of Virgo is to be of service to others. That is the way typically Virgo as a sign is described. So firstly, she's a nerd. Two, she's so crazy about going to a university. I mean, tell me, wouldn't a Virgo do this?
Yes, you're
Only a
right.
Virgo, yeah, only a Virgo would be like, I'm leaving my family behind because I want to learn. And
Yes.
I want to learn in order to be of service to people, or in order to be of service to myself as well. So she's very clearly a Virgo. And I think she is a more evolved Virgo because she's not pedantic or didactic in nature. Like, you don't see her preaching or criticizing. She's very accepting of new ideas, which I think is a more evolved Virgo trait. So Binti, 100% Virgo. I will say she probably has a Virgo stellium. if her chart
That's good.
reads that way. I think she would have a Virgo stellium. Now, Hiro, okay, coming to Hiro, her crush, I think he's an Aquarius, and I'll tell you why. Again, he's also a nerd. Two, he's also leaving his home behind in order for the pursuit of knowledge. But he's a little how do I say? I think he's a little off about social cues, because when they are in the lunch line, in the queue to get lunch, he picks up her braid. Like you would not typically expect a guy to just like touch a girl's hair. I mean, they don't even know each other that well. They're just schoolmates. He picks up her hair and he analyzes the fact that the triangles in her hair have a specific pattern, and that specific pattern of braiding her hair, this pattern like belongs to her family. It's a part of her culture. So I think the fact that he doesn't have this social cue, but he's looking at it from a very objective point of view, I think that lack of like that lack of, how do I say, social mannerisms, I think that gives him like an Aquarian quality. And also Aquarians are kind of aliens in their own way. Okay, now coming to Oku, I think Oku again is a Virgo, but he's a little less evolved Virgo, because he has very strong values and he has a critical and analytical mind, because of which he reaches out to Binti. There are other Meduse who could have done this job, but they didn't. Again, I think he reached out to her in the pursuit of learning something more than what he already knows. And he approached it in a very objective, analytical manner until they started developing a sort of friendship. So I would say that. And again, he also, because he's defiant of the values of his alien race, this defiance is again in the pursuit of, I can't say humanitarianism, because that would only uh, I mean, it would narrow it down only to being there for the cause of humans. But he has this like disposition of, despite his anger, despite his prejudices, he also wants to be of service to his own alien species first. And also, he wants to be of service in the way that he facilitates Binti being the bridge that gaps the divide between humans and the Meduse. And come on, he's also a nerd. He's so happy to get into UMSA University.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a nerd. He's just a slightly unevolved Virgo, but he'll get there. And I think the Meduse. Okay, I will collectively give a sign to the Meduse, and I think that they are Leos, in the sense that I think they cause drama without understanding they cause drama. And they have this like superiority complex, that we have advanced technologies, we know the way, we are not violent. So they have this like quality of feeling like they are royalty or elite or above the human race. But they do have a heart space. uh, because if you think about it, their chief stinger was stolen. I mean, practically speaking, that's war. But again, using whatever heart space would be in their species, using that heart space to even contemplate the fact that we can have a talk instead of doing what we had planned to do. So I would say that they are Leos. As a collective, they are Leos, and they take a lot of pride in their species.
I was going to say pride. Yeah, they're very proud. They're a very proud species.
Yeah. So this would be
Cool.
the astrological sectioning
Yeah, because
of all
we
the
don't have enough of the
characters.
other characters to go off of. I guess nobody can be a Gemini this time. Nobody
Yeah,
can be our scapegoat
I
Gemini.
know. I know.
I'm waiting till someone like calls us out on this, because we're gonna keep doing it. We don't dislike you. We just you Geminis, we just decided just to make this a thing. So that's great. Yeah, I totally agree with all of those.